we're gonna play a little game, okay, with this little intro. So what I'm gonna do, because I've noticed that when I'm on my videos, when I name them a really like intense like statement, even though that statement can be taken many different ways and has a lot of leeway to it, a lot of people take very strong statements and just assume that those are absolutes. Like, I'm not willing to discuss them, that these things, I mean them to the fullest extent and there's no wiggle room. Like, basically people take my titles on my YouTube videos way too seriously. That happened with the VHS hype video, because I said don't be too hype about the VHS release, because you may be too harsh on it. That's all I wanted to say. But people saw "don't be hype about VHS," didn't even read the full title, and kind of flipped out. And I'm starting to understand that like a lot of people that watch my videos, for some reason, just read the title and leave comments. Like, they don't even watch the video. They just read the title and write an angry comment before they even watch the video. So the title of this video is going to be "It's Not the Game, It's You." And you, who stayed here for the intro, we're going to look down at all the nasty comments that we get on this one, because they're going to say, wow, this game's so unbalanced. Wow, you're such a shill for behavior. I love that. I loved that one, being told I was a shill for behavior somehow. But yeah, we're going to, you and I who stuck around for the intro, we're going to look down there and see all the nasty comments we have of people like whining that it is the game, when clearly I know there's a lot of leeway. So yeah, let's have a little secret and we'll have a laugh. Maybe why don't we type something at them? Let's type something at those people that make those angry comments without watching the video. Why don't we just like all just say haha, but like all lowercase, which is like no context. How we do that? We just put haha, like with just like all lowercase, no context. How about we do that? This is how we battle. This is how we battle people leaving angry comments without actually like, you know, watching the video. We just make them look stupid. I'm into that. Let's go. This one's a hard one. I'm gonna have to sit you down. For this one. This one's a hard one. It's a hard one for a lot of people. Except it was hard for me to accept. I played almost 2,000 hours of this game before I really, started coming clean with myself about this. I think the nature of DBD is that it's a very, very buggy and a very, very inconsistent game. Whether that be because of the RNG, the bugs, whatever. Like, this game's very, very inconsistent. But like, as a result, we've kind of tend to blame everything and anything that goes wrong in this game on either the bugs or the RNG. And I will say that a great deal of the time that is true. And a great deal of the time, like, I'll say this all the time on stream. I'll spawn on a map and I go, wow, they have a really, really strong set. Dude, they have double pallets, Like, I'll point out those things that they got good RNG. Or I'll do the opposite. I'll be like, on Shelter Woods, I'll be like, what? There's literally nothing back here, Like, wow, you guys got screwed on the map spawn, Like, I'll say that in reverse. But a lot of the time too, people use this as kind of like a shield, kind of like an excuse to say, oh, I lost because the map spawn was bad, or I just got a bad map, or something like that. Basically, they just try to blame it on the game. And I see people do this to like a larger extent, like outside of even like bugs and stuff. They'll just say like with like game balance, like they'll say like, I got out perked, friends, or they'll say like, oh, well, I got gen rushed when they lose this killer. And like, I'll actually like watch the video, like that they were like the match that they're referring to, and they like tried to like proxy camp one guy on first hook. By the way, if you didn't know this, it's almost always more efficient to like do any sort of camping, whether it be proxy or directly, on second hook, because that first hook state lasts a lot longer. And also is not in any way getting close to guaranteeing a death. So like, yeah, so it literally just like doesn't make any sense to camp that early. But like, I see players do it all the time. But like, I'll see a player like camp at like first hook, which is just incredibly inefficient for the reasons I just listed. But then they'll say, oh, people are gen rushing. Oh, they're super boring. And like, in that case, that wasn't the game. That wasn't the game balance, my homie. That was you. And that's in a lot of the things that I'm saying. Like, if you watch my streams, you're like, no, I've heard you say that, and I agree. Like, I have been really bad about this. I have really limited my ability as a killer, because I've been so set on this game's buggy, this game's unbalanced, this game is broken, right? That I haven't really been looking at myself and seeing that all the mistakes that I've been making and the things that I've been doing, the lack of things that I could improve on, right? There was a stream I had, and I'll probably put a video of one of those matches up there, where I just played Huntress for like 3 hours straight. And instead of saying like, oh, well, it was the game, or I got validated, blah, 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 I just said, oh, good dodge, or yeah, I needed to be quicker than that. I need to not hesitate there. If I hadn't hesitated there, I would have gotten that shot. Or I could have had a better read there. And like, shocker, I ended up playing her, like I said, I ended up playing her for like 3 hours. Because like, instead of, blaming the game and getting bitter, because that makes you feel like garbage, when you feel like, there's an external force that's just weighing over your head and just bashing you in all the time. Like, when I started realizing that like most of it were things that I had control over, and I started like being honest with myself instead of just in the fighting game community we call it no Johns, like no excuses. When I stopped saying Johns, when I stopped giving Johns, I was like realizing the little ways in which I could improve my gameplay. And I was just like, I was hitting most of my hatchets by like the end of the night. Like the last like 4 or 5 matches, I was like really accurate with my hatchets, because like I was so preoccupied like my whole DVD killer career with just like, oh, everything is just the game. And let me say this again, because there's always going to be somebody who whines. A lot of it is the game. I will say that straight up to you. A lot of it is the game, and we can't help that. But a lot of it is also you. And it was one of the first times I really took a step back and said, hey, maybe a lot of this is me. And I vastly improved at my hatchets that night. That's why that video got made, that random Huntress video. Because I was like, I'm actually like doing pretty good with this character now, because I'm like not whining nonstop and I can actually focus on my flaws. And I'm like, my friend Wes was like, hey, can you hit through this wall? And I'm like, and I just went around the map and just tested what I can shoot through and what I couldn't. And I am infinitely better on that map, because I actually took the time to learn the snipe spots, because I wasn't spending all that time whining and crying about the game and blaming the game every single time something went wrong. And I think a majority of killer mains have this problem. I really do. I going into other killer streams, they almost all do this, and I think it's a really natural thing to feel this way when the game is so openly broken and so openly imbalanced, to kind of just like, go there to just assume it's the game every single time. I think that's totally valid. Like, like it's hard to tell until you have tons and tons of hours in this game, like what's the game and what's you. But I don't think people ever take the time to really learn that skill, and they just will blame the game forever and never improve. So I would encourage you, if you're doing this, to swallow your pride, take a step back, not cancel it entirely in terms of your complaining, but just like replace like every other complaint about the game that you say with either silence or, what could I have done there? Like, was there anything I could have done there? Like, you could still whine, still like make your complaint every other time, like every other thing that you say. But like that every other thing, the in-between, like just be like, could I have done anything about that? Maybe that was on me. And you'll notice like a vast improvement in your gameplay once you start taking responsibility for things that are happening in the game. And that way, literally the only thing that's holding you back is the glitches or in the RNG. You will be firing at max efficiency, and the only thing that will be in your way is the glitches and the RNG, instead of like kind of going, I don't know, I think everything is glitches and RNG, and you're missing out on potential that you haven't given yourself yet because you're too busy whining. So yeah, hopefully this helps you improve. Hopefully this mentality helps you rethink the way you play DBD, and hopefully have a lot more fun. I had a lot more fun once I stopped to like just complaining nonstop. Now I still complain, and I still will, but like, progress is not linear, But yeah, that was this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget for all those people that just kind of answer or put a comment down below without reading, they just read the title and they put a comment. We're doing undercase haha at them
we're just going to reply undercase haha, and we're just going to say nothing else, no context. Nobody spoil anything. They actually have to watch the video to understand. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. If I don't, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.